that first video,
it's about maybe a 20-second segment of the video. It says that. You just have to read into it, but it's there. So the value is there. And that's how we make our money back over time, and how we can bring a battery at no cost for someone, a $30,000, $15,000 to $30,000 battery to someone at no cost. And it not be too good to be true. It was too good to be true if you weren't Think Energy and you were selling a battery to somebody, but we're not doing that. We're providing it, and we're getting our money back through the utility company and through your electric bill over time, not through a financial arrangement with you. So very important to understand that. So exciting stuff. I see that Steve. Let's go ahead, Steve Levine. Or Levine. Sure. Levine or Levine?
It's Levine.
Levine, got it.
Quick question. Freemy mentioned that Texas has a 1995 charge. Is there a charge in Illinois for any service?
If there is a program fee associated with it, that will be released in the terms and conditions with the customer. But we can tell you this, if there is a program fee for being an electricity customer, it's not for being a battery customer. It's not associated with paying back for the battery. If there are fees associated with plans that are electricity plans, that gets put into the actual terms and conditions of the electricity plan with the customer. So I look at it this way, Steve. If you were getting charged, just give an example. If you're getting charged, 20 cents, let's go with 10 cents to make it a round number. I don't think anybody's going to charge 10 cents for electricity anymore, but let's just use that number. You're getting charged 10 cents a kilowatt hour. And I can get you a rate that's 8 cents a kilowatt hour. And you have a $300 electric bill. You would gladly pay a $19 fee to get an 8 cents per kilowatt hour rate, because you're going to save a lot of money, even with that fee attached to it. So the bottom line is the customer is going to be saving money versus the utility company, even factoring in any fees that are associated with an electricity plant, just like in the state of Texas. So if that does ever exist in Illinois, it's going to work exactly like it does in Texas. You're still saving money. Even when the fee is factored in. Yes.
We're going to write down Tuesday. Okay.
We're going to have all the terms and conditions are going to be out there so that you and a customer can read right through the entire terms and conditions at that point. Yes.
Okay, so my real question was, because I don't live in Chicago, I use ComEd, I'm in a different area. Why can't you just hook up a battery at my house? Is there permits that need to be approved or?
Yeah, definitely. There's a major amount of permitting that happens. We have licensed electricians that are also certified battery installers that come in, and they're the only people who can do it. You can't connect one yourself. I mean, you have to go through and get your own permit to do it and get certified and all that stuff. But yeah, this is definitely permitting could take months. Potentially to get a permit to put this on someone's home. So it's a high ticket item, and it's a high ticket install process as well. And permitting is part of it.
So that's why you're. Because I'm with it's called Ameren. That's why you're not with Ameren right now, or.
So the only reason we're not open in the Ameren territory yet is because we're still waiting for our license to provide electricity supply in the territory for Ameren. Once we have that, we can actually open for the battery program if we want to.
Got it. Okay. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it.
You got it. Appreciate that question, Steve. All right. Sammy, go right ahead.
Okay. I'm interested to know if you already have a generator.
Okay.
Do you need this battery? And if so, why would you need the battery?
Well, that's a great question. So, I would say, I'll put it this way. I'll use myself as the example. I have a generator at my home in case the power goes out. Okay. I have one of those portable generators. Is that what we're talking about, Sammy? Like a portable generator that you like
No,
wheel
no.
around?
No.
You're talking about a built-in generator that's built into your home?
Yes, it's outside the home, but
Okay.
it's built in. Yes.
Okay, then you don't need the battery, and we're not going to actually provide you with a battery because you don't need one. You already have a way for your home to automatically be backed up if the power goes out without you doing anything. Correct? Is that what you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair about it, we are in the process. We haven't actually installed it yet, but during the process of it'll probably be installed within the next month. But I'm wondering. I'm just kind of looking at the difference between the two. If I should maybe go on with that installment, or with the generator. I mean, or will the battery work the same way?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So the battery will work the same way, and I'll put an asterisk on that at the same time. So now I imagine you're buying this system, correct?
Yes.
This is not okay. So this is something you're entering into. You're either paying up front, many thousands of dollars, potentially 10,000 or more, whatever it is. So you're buying a battery. So there's a big difference there. We're not actually charging you for the battery. Okay, so there's no cost here for this. Our battery system will back up your entire home. Okay, when the power goes out, it'll happen automatically, exactly the same way as your generator that you're talking about, that whole home generator. It'll do the same exact thing. But there's a duration of that. The battery can only hold so much energy, whereas your whole home generator, as long as it has fuel, it'll keep powering your home. So the battery backup that we have, it could potentially last for many hours or even many days, depending on how much energy you conserve, how much electricity you're not using, and conserving for that battery to back up your home. But in essence, it works the same exact way. It just doesn't have infinite amount of power in the battery. There's only a certain amount that's in there. So you'll get hours or even a day or up to 2 days. It could be longer, depending on how much, on what you're using for energy at your home while the battery is powering it. So that's what you have to kind of look at. Which way do you want to go? You want to just pay for something and have it there and it'll last for as long as there's fuel? Or do you want to pay nothing and have a battery that's there? And we'll also lower your electricity bill a lot, which you're not going to be able to do with a whole battery, with a whole home generator. That doesn't have anything to do usually with electricity rates. Usually. So it's up to you.
Well, what would you do? I'm sorry. What would you do if let's say the energy runs out? How do you get energy back to the battery? How do you hook it back up?
So the battery. First, let's use the first example. Let's say the power goes out for I don't know. Let's call it like 6 hours or something. I think the average power outage is like 3 hours or less. So let's say it's a 3-hour power outage. The battery, our home battery will kick on. It'll power you all the way through that 3 hours. And then as soon as the electricity comes back on, it'll charge the battery back up, and it'll be able to do it over and over again. If the power, let's say that the power goes out for 3 days, let's just use that as an example. The battery might last for 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours, sometimes 48 hours. Could be longer depending on how much what you're turning off to extend the battery, like what you're not using in the home, if you're conserving energy. But let's just say that the battery runs out after 12 hours. And now you're out of power for 72 hours, for 3 days. Well, how can you power up the battery? You can recharge that battery by plugging in a portable generator to it, and that will recharge your battery. There's going to be ways for you to plug your car into the battery and have your car charge that battery. There's ways for people to roll out like portable solar panels that they have in their garage and roll them out on the driveway to recharge the battery when the sun is out, so that they can have the battery work for them for extended periods of time. So the battery has the ability to have external sources like portable generators and other sources to be able to recharge the battery when the power is out for extended days. Does that make sense?
Yes, and another thing, is there more than one battery attached to the home or several? Or does it depend on the size of the home?
Yeah, it's great. It somewhat depends on the size of the home, but we'll do up to 4 batteries attached to the home in Illinois. In Texas, we're generally doing 2 batteries, but in Illinois, there's incentive there. There's a massive incentive and push in the state of Illinois from regulators and from politicians and from the utility companies and from laws, senators and House of Representatives members and the governor. They're all looking to get as many batteries onto homes as possible so they can avoid the issues that they're going to have in the future with data centers taking all the energy, with power outages happening and brownouts and blackouts. They know, so there's this huge push to have even more batteries than you might need attached to your home because it helps out the entire grid. So yeah, they're really pushing to do that. So you can get up to 4 batteries attached to your home.
Okay, so let's say you have several batteries attached to your home.
Yep.
If you have an outage, do all of them come on at the same time, or can one come on and then another one if you need it for more time, or what?
Yeah, it's kind of like they're all combined into one big battery. So if you have 4 batteries, you have 4 times the amount of time that you can go in the event of a power outage.
Okay, and one last question. Does it damage your house? Let's say you have a brick house, and or any kind of house, and attaching this directly to the house and removing it, what kind of, is there some type of damage to the house?
These are designed to have minimal damage. I mean, when you look at what these are, you can't even see when it's installed. I mean, you saw some of the pictures that we put up on the screen. They're in the video. They're in our brochures as well. But these are highly trained professionals that are installing this battery according to specs that are required by the local towns and municipalities. So taking them off, I mean, you're talking about it's not like they're taking off your entire wall and building a battery. They're hanging a battery on the outside of your home. They're hanging it on the home. So if they were to take the battery off, then there's going to be some type of hole there where they put some type of mounting apparatus to attach the battery to the side of the home. But you're not talking about like gaping holes that are on the house or anything like that. It's mounting hardware is what we're talking about. And then just like anything, you have electricity that runs in through your house. It gets hardwired into the electrical panel. So you'd have, that as well. So it's not anything that's like an eyesore. It's certainly not something that's going to they're not taking off the entire side of your house to put a battery on.
I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm thinking in terms of the holes that are drilled into the brick. Do they, do something to fill those holes? Because if you have holes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's all done according to specs. That's required by all the specs in the permitting process. So anytime something is drilled, it gets sealed. If they take the battery off and there's a hole, they have to seal that hole back over and repair it. Absolutely. So that's all part of the installation process. But yeah, there's no damage to the home. You're not looking at damaging someone's home. It's basically hanging a battery on the home. So there's going to be some type of apparatus that does that, and it's minimal. And if they take the battery off, they definitely have to seal everything up before they go away with the battery, because that would be against code to do that. So they have to follow the code and the laws that are in place in each town where we're installing these.
Okay, I see. Because I know where I live, also the wind is pretty high, and it even blows your furniture off the deck. So I'm just wondering, would that be sturdy enough to hang on the house?
Yeah, these are all done low on the home, okay, not up high, so all low on the home. These batteries, each battery weighs about 250 pounds. It's not something that's going to be blown over. These are heavy. batteries that are like the size of a suitcase that you wheel around, but they basically weigh 250 pounds each. So wind is not a factor. That's not what what we're talking about. Water is not a factor. There's not even, you can go look at all the videos on the EcoFlow website as well as on the EcoFlow YouTube channel. There's some great videos where they actually had, they had fire, water, wind, machinery try to destroy these batteries and it couldn't. So you can actually see those videos and those tests, and incredible what the technology that's in these batteries. And these are impervious, is like what, they're not something that can be damaged easily. From any kind of weather.
Okay, just one last thing. When they're connected, well, the battery itself, about how deep, not the width, but how deep are they? How far do they stick out from the house?
I like to think of it, if you think about like a suitcase that you're wheeling around that has your clothes in it, it's kind of like that. It's, you're talking about, you can get the dimensions just by going to the EcoFlow website as well. And you can see the dimensions. They have the specs right there. It shows you like length, width, height, and weight. It has all of that there. I don't know, I can't remember offhand what they are, but they're not that deep. You're talking about something that's like 6 to 8 inches deep, somewhere around there, from what I remember. But it's not like it's some, protruding thing. These are sleek, kind of like very, they're very high-tech looking, smooth finish. They look space age. They're really cool looking. They're designed to be attractive, not to be an eyesore.
Okay, so what is that for the EcoFlow website? You just put in EcoFlow.what?
.com. EcoFlow.com.
All right. Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely, Sam. I appreciate the question. You've helped out a lot of people with these questions. The questions you just asked, no one's ever asked those questions in our last 3 meetings that we've done, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, let's see. Who do we have next? I see we have Steve. Steve, go right ahead.
Hi, Tony. I have a few follow-up questions and comments to all these excellent questions that just happened. Just this morning, I was helping a community solar customer in New York understand their bill and how to, where the credits are and stuff. And I realized in New York, we have a $19 a month fee that goes to the utility company.
Yep.
And as I understand it, in Texas, they don't have utility companies, so that's probably what this $19 thing is there too, right?
There's definitely a cost for bringing electricity
to the home. Yeah.
To the home.
So they call it the base fee or something like that.
Yes.
Right?
Yep, exactly. It's called base fee. I know, I have it in Connecticut as well. We have this thing called an SBC charge. I don't know what it stands for, but all I know is that there's a fee to deliver it to your home, whether you're using electricity or not. And
I never noticed it before, but it just happens to be $19. So.
Yep.
And then, so regarding autosave for Illinois in particular, we basically can say with autosave, you're guaranteed never to pay more than the utility.
Yep.
Right? And that's basically the guarantee for autosave everywhere. But you're now able to unlock the ability to be considered for the battery program, which will, if you're approached for that or invited into that, and now you've got the ability to have guaranteed savings for 15 years over the utility.
Yes,
right?
that is
correct. I just want to make sure I'm saying it right. And my understanding is that the term is roughly every 5 years, and if Think can't actually say, this is kind of a follow-up to Premium's concern, that if they can't actually save you money 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they let you out of the contract.
Well, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, we're saving money for 15 years. Like in right. Yes.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about 5 years from now they're going to raise my rate higher than I might.
No, yeah, we're just going to reassess. We're going to look at, okay, where's the utility? We're just going to reassess it and say, okay, we've been saving in Illinois. We've been saving you money for say 5 years. So the utility has changed their rate twice to 2 to 3 times a year. For 5 years. So even with all the ups and downs, it's still a percentage savings. If the utility company goes here and we're saving you 10%, or I'm just giving an example, I don't know if it's 10%, then great. But if the utility goes up, then we'll save you 10%. If the utility comes way down here, we'll save you 10%. So that's what's going to happen. And they'll just reassess that percentage discount after 5 years. But there's always a percentage.
It's not to say that it will actually go up. The discount will go down. It could actually go up because the program will be bigger.
Yeah,
like the amount of customers, right? So, a comment on the gas backup generators that people put on their homes.
Yep.
We have a neighbor with one of those noisy things, and it takes some time to come on. So with the battery backup system, what people don't realize is it's instantaneous. It's just like unplugging your laptop, right?
Yep.
My laptop doesn't go out at all. It still continues to work whether it's plugged in or not. That's the same instant experience that people have with a battery on their home.
That's a good point, Steve, because I have somebody that has a whole home battery backup as well. And I remember when the power went out, they said, "Oh darn, it takes about 15 or 20 seconds for the generator to kick in. We just lost our internet. We just all
it's a
lights
huge
went out."
glitch. That surge can actually blow out your equipment.
Yep. So so with ours, there is. That's a great point. There is a difference. This is actually, I think it's like 2 milliseconds or something, like 10 milliseconds.
You can't even perceive it. It's just like unplugging your laptop. So,
yep, exactly.
And just one other last comment. We just had an electric car. It cost us $3,000 to put the charger in, right?
Yep.
And that's just a little thing that hangs on the wall. So. This deal is awesome for people.
Yeah, it definitely is. So I appreciate the question, Steve, and the insight there. We'll add that to the reasons why you want to get a battery backup instead of a whole home generator.
Thank you.
All right, you got it. I would say this, everybody, if I took a poll of everybody on this call and every call that we ever do in the future, how many people want to buy a whole home generator for $15,000 versus how many, and we might have 1 out of 100 hands go up. But when I say how many people would like to get a whole home battery backup at zero cost, every hand that has a home will go up. And that's the difference between what we're doing and what other companies are doing. So, Lisa, I see you on there. Lisa, can you chime in?
I certainly can. Thank you so much. Okay, I guess I got a little, the last caller made some good points and answered, I guess, one of my questions. But I guess hearing from the other questions that you answered, something threw me off. And that is, here's my note. Okay. I know you sort of talk about, being able to stack the savings like coupons. There's the auto save, you can use solar, the battery discount. But then later with a former caller, you say that it's something about, okay, well you have auto save, but then when you get the battery, you have guaranteed savings, so you're locked into a rate. I hear it's for 15, you have the battery for 15 years, but you said the adjustment can be made 1 year at a time, 2 years at a time, but then last night you were saying 5 years at a time you're locked into a rate. Am I wrong with that?
You're not locked into a rate. So in Illinois, we're talking about Illinois, you're not locked into a rate. You're locked into a percent discount versus ComEd. Okay, so it's not a rate. It's a discount percentage, no matter what ComEd's rate is. So if they go up or down, you're still saving 10%. So it's not a rate where you're locked into this rate and all of a sudden ComEd's rate goes lower than that rate and now you're paying more. That's not it. You're not locked into a rate. You're locked into a percentage savings for a period of time. Then when that period of time is up, there'll be a new percentage savings for a new period of time. So whether that's 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it is, you're always going to save during that 15-year period of time. They could adjust the percentage discount at the end of each term that they give you, but there's no rate. It's a percent savings versus the utility. Now, in Texas, it is a locked-in rate. That's different. Texas works different than Illinois.
Right. I mean, yeah, and I understand that. Okay, but with the percentage rate, how does that
Percentage discount.
percentage discount? Sorry, I think percentage discount. Now, how does that work with your autosave? If you're doing a percentage discount on the battery, and then but autosave is supposed to be checking to give you the best rate. You see,
Let's put it. Let's just make it this way. Let's just call it. Let's call it. You're on autosave without the battery. Once you're on the battery, you're on super autosave. It's a new program. Yeah, it's not the old autosave. It's like a new program where you get a guaranteed savings for 15 years. It's no longer autosave, which is switching you back and forth to the utility, whoever has the better rate. That's gone. Right. That doesn't. You don't need that anymore. You now have something even better than that.
okay, and so you mentioned something about the adjustment. No, it's the guaranteed savings with the battery. Is that locked in for 5 years at a time, or you said earlier something about you can adjust it for 1 year at a time, 2, 3 years at a time? Do you pick and choose in the beginning?
No, it's not you picking and choosing. Think Energy is going to guarantee that you save versus the price to compare for the utility for 15 years. They will give you whatever percentage savings that is. They'll give it to you for a certain amount of time, each time, all the way through 15 years. So whether they choose to give it to you for 1 year at a time, or 2 years at a time, or 5 years at a time, I imagine it'll probably be 5 years at a time when we start. But that could be, later on, they could change it to 2 years at a time. But it doesn't matter because they're going to save you money over the course of that 15 years. They just reserve the right to adjust that percentage savings for each term that they give you. But you're always going to be lower, no matter what.
Okay. Great. Okay, I'm almost done.
So let's use an example. Let's use the example. You sign up as a brand new customer, you become an autosave customer, then you get the battery. Now you get a 5-year, let's call it, they offer you a 5-year plan, and it's 10% savings versus the utility. You'll get 10% savings for 5 years. At the end of 5 years, they'll offer you a new plan. They'll put you on a brand new plan that has a new percentage savings for a new period of time. And that'll continue to happen for 15 years.
Okay. If let's say after the 5, let's see. You mentioned something about if, let's say, you get the battery and shortly thereafter, let's say a year or two or something like that, you decide you no longer want the battery. You said there will be a charge to remove the battery. So is there a period of time that because you've had the battery for what you said, 15 years, if in fact let's just do it this way. Let me change it. The scenario. Okay, the battery's supposed to have 15 years. If you have an older homeowner, and let's say they have to move out of their home, the home's not sold, but they have to move out of their home for assisted living. However, the family chooses to rent the house out. Well, no, they decide to just go ahead and sell the home. I understand that we could either have the battery removed if the new homeowner doesn't want the battery program. Correct? But if it's, let's say, less than the 15 years, is there going to be, let's say it's in 3 years of them getting the battery initially, and because of health reasons, the homeowner has to move. Is there a charge, or is there a window that there will be charged to have that battery removed?
There's no cost for people moving ever.
Okay. If they just simply change your mind, I heard you say there would be a charge for removing the battery.
Sure, absolutely, because, hey, we just installed this battery for you, and it cost us many thousands of dollars and a $30,000 system. So yeah, there has to be, absolutely, that has to be there for sure.
Right, and that would be in the small print in the contract that they sign, correct?
Yeah, I would say it would be in the bold print, like right up front, like not hidden anywhere, but right up front, very clear. It'll be very clear.
Charge fee and all that. Okay.
Yeah. It won't be in the fine print section. It'll be very outlined very clearly.
Right, so they understand. Okay, all right, great. Thank you so much, Tony. You're awesome. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, good questions. Let's go, Raymond.
Good morning, good evening. It is night and day somewhere. Thank you for answering questions. My question is that one of my business partners asked me, and advisors asked me, is that the importance of the credit score. How does that play a part in relation to the battery? That's the first question they asked, because they think they'll get that question in the future. How come there's a credit score? The battery is complementary, basically. That was one question. That's my question.
Okay, so the battery cost us 30, let's just use 20,000 as the battery cost. The battery cost is no cost to the customer, but it's $20,000 to Think Energy. Okay, so, and we know that in order for us to make our money back, the customer needs to be using electricity and paying their electric bill. So we have if somebody has a 400 credit score, there's a high likelihood they're not going to pay their electric bill. We don't want that customer. We will not be able to make our money back. It's no longer a battery where we can bring it at no cost to somebody that has a 400 credit score. If they have a 600 credit score, which almost 94% of people who have a home in Illinois have a 600 credit score or more. So that means 6 out of 100 are not going to be qualified, 94 out of 100 will, okay, based on the credit score alone. We have a high likelihood that people with a 600 credit score pay their electric bill. We want that customer. That's it. It's that simple. People with a higher credit score pay their electric bill more frequently, and that's why we can bring them a battery.
Got it. It makes sense. Thank you. I'll definitely relay that message, because I told them that's what I figured, but I was like, let me just get it straight from that. Okay.
Does that mean that somebody who has less than a 600 credit score can't get a battery? Potentially, no. We might have them give us a deposit, and then they can get a battery. Because their score is lower. And that was in our training. We reserve the right to be able to do that. We could say, hey, we might be able to do that in the future. So we're going to look at that as we go. But the bottom line is we're starting at 600 credit score, 8,000 kilowatt hours of usage, and you have a single family home that you own and live in. We want you to have a battery, as long as you don't have solar panels or an automatic generator that backs up your whole home. We want you to get one of these batteries, and we're going to bring it to you at no cost.
Got it. No, awesome answer.
See, the credit score would be an issue, Raymond, if we were saying, well, if you have an 825 credit score, you can get this. But that's not what we're doing here.
No, I got you. No, I got you. My next question is, on our home, we have traditional solar panels, as you know. And during that process, that company sent us emails of the developments, for the permitting and all this stuff, so we know the progress of the updates, like ASAP. So my question is, don't know if it's answerable right now, as they're installing the batteries, depending on the territory of the state, will there be updates, updates for the batteries, like, okay, here's the permitting process for this, and we're in this stage of it, or will it be automatically all done beforehand, like documents, emails showing the customer? That's my question.
Yeah, the customer's going to have all of that. They're going to have access to all of that. That's going to be provided to them. The bottom line is this is not like a solar installation where it's going to be multi-phase, right? This is like, come over, we get the permit, our company goes in and gets the permit on behalf of the customer. We let the customer know the permit is ready to go. We schedule the appointment. We come and show up at that time. Great, the customer gets the battery. 4 hours later, it's done. So it's not like phases. Okay. You see what I'm saying? It's done. Then the installers will come back over to make sure that it's working properly and all that stuff. But that's it. You're talking about 4 hours, roughly, of time to install a battery system. It's not like rooftop solar where you have multi phases of installation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, no, that was my question. I was wondering if it's similar or not. No, thank you. Okay, but that's it. Gotcha.
Okay, appreciate that. All right, good stuff. I see, Freeman, you had a question in there that if someone doesn't have Wi-Fi at their home, can they get a battery? So we don't require Wi-Fi. Like this system is set up where it has its own signal that's done through cellular on its own, regardless of whether you have cell phone or whether you have internet or cable, or it doesn't matter. That battery is going to work, and we're going to be able to communicate with that battery no matter what you do with your internet or phone or anything. We're not connecting through that. Okay, so just to give you an idea, that's how it works. So great question there, and just making sure. I appreciate everybody. Let's see. Energy well safeguarding privacy. We have our own privacy rules. It's all in our terms and conditions. We are, a licensed provider of electricity, and we're not allowed to share. If you look at our terms and conditions of being a customer, we're in a highly regulated industry. So we're not in the business of sharing your information with outside companies that are not part of the process. So we'll get more information on that. I appreciate that question as well. I think that was from Etan. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but appreciate that. And the room for June 9th, I don't know. I haven't gotten the question answered on that, Diana. So all I know is I called the Hilton, they would need a code. So I don't know that we have that. I haven't gotten the answer to that yet. I'm actually doing this Q&A right now. I'm missing a call with corporate, so I'm going to find out from my business partners on that call. So the partner call is tomorrow night, Wednesday. It's in the schedule, Mark, so appreciate that. All right, Myra. Did I pronounce it correctly, Myra?
Yes, you did. Hi, sorry.
All right, great.
Yes. Thank you so much for taking my question. Now, I do have a couple when it comes to the, how do we know when the battery is fully charged, and how do we know the battery is going out?
So let's answer that one quick. So right on your battery, there's a display right on the battery that tells you how much charge is in that battery. So, Think Energy is going to turn that battery on and off when they can find value for you as the customer, so that we can keep your rates low, super low. And so, it depends on, if the power goes out, it could go out when the battery has a 50% charge or 60% charge or an 80% charge. Bottom line is it's going to power your home for a period of time, no matter what. We're not ever going to let it go down to zero. So you as a customer, do you even have to pay attention to it? No. It doesn't matter whether you look at the battery or not. It's always going to be ready to back your home up 24/7, 365, every second of every day. It's going to be ready, charged with at least some amount of charge to keep your home running for a period of time.
Okay, great. Now, so I do know that when prices decrease, right? That's what you said with the battery will charge. So this, the battery will know automatically when the prices are low and it will start recharging, or is it like a specific set time that you have to do for the battery for that?
It's all done through artificial intelligence and our proprietary platform that's super smart in the energy sector. So that's attached to the battery. So there's all different times throughout the day. If our company can find value where we can actually create value at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 2 p.m. or 5 p.m. or 11 p.m., they're going to do it. They're going to turn that battery on and off when there's a value to the company, which then basically is a value to you at the same time to allow us to keep those rates low for you. So that happens around the clock. They're looking for instances all the time where that can happen. For instance, Myra, it might be like if you think of ComEd territory, the ComEd company, the utility company, might say to Think Energy down the road, hey, we need you to turn on 1,000 batteries right now at 6 p.m. because there's a lot of energy being used right now. We don't have enough. Could you please turn on all your batteries so that we don't have to brown out people's, turn their electricity off because we don't have enough energy? And that has value. ComEd has to pay for that, right? So that has value to us. So you're never going to know when that value is. You're never going to know when the battery is turning on or turning off. You'll never know that. Only Think Energy will know that.
Okay, okay, great. And I do have one last question. Let's say here in the state of Texas, summer gets really, really hot. And let's say that our customer gets qualified for 2 batteries at their home. If they want to get more, can they get more?
That's going to be something that's determined by the battery team. We're working with that customer, not us. I mean, as energy advisors, we're not going to know that. We're not going to have access to knowing when that could happen or what will require it to happen. So I would just say that most of the time it's 2 batteries in the state of Texas, regardless of how much energy you use or not. But could there be times where, a customer will be using sufficient energy that will allow us to put a battery in and add additional batteries and make it economically feasible for our company to do that? There potentially could be that. But that's not something that's really, in Texas, it's looking like it's mainly a 2-battery system in the state of Texas. And then, with the ability for the battery team to determine with that customer, not with the EA, with the customer, if more batteries make sense or not. Okay? All right. I'll ask you to unmute again. Did we get all your questions answered, Myra?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Right now, I'm pretty sure I will have more.
All right. Well, we'll be back on again tomorrow as well. So appreciate you being here. Thank you for that. I see Ron has just been waiting patiently forever to get his question answered. So Ron, go right ahead.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. Looking forward to meeting you in Chicago.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Question for you. I personally use this 1,500 kilowatts a month. So is each battery, as I thought I read it was like a 10 kilowatt capacity, or is there something relatable to that we can relate that? So I'd have to find out if and when the batteries get installed by my home, will it be a home system or will it be specific parts of the home, like appliances and things in the internet that I would have to designate?
No, you're not going to need to designate things. That's all. So this is designed so that everything in your home can operate. If you look at the battery system, that the specs on that, we're talking about a 24,000 kilowatt hour, 24,000 watt inverter that's attached to these. So you're talking about having 24,000 watts of power running through your home at any given time. That would be the equivalent of you running 24 microwave ovens at the same time. It's just not going to happen. So most homes don't use 24,000 watts of power at any given time. So this is designed to back up everything in your home. There's not when that battery is installed and the power goes out, there's nothing in your home that's not going to run at the same time.
Okay, is there a determination on multiple batteries, whether 1 to 4, depending on the usage of the home?
They could potentially do that, but we're, they're in Illinois, they're looking to get as many 4 battery systems out there as possible. Those are the marching orders from the state. So they want that to happen. So could it be smaller than that? Sure, but they're definitely targeting up to 4. So we'll see each one. Each home is, potentially there could be variables in there, but the bottom line is our battery team is going to work with the customer to get them the system, the amount of batteries that makes sense for them and their location and what's available economically. And that's not something that we as energy advisors are going to be answering or doing or advising the customer on. Our job is just sign up the customer on AutoSave, get them pre-qualified. Then once they're pre-qualified, we'll be notified about that. We notify the customer, and the battery team takes over from there.
Okay, I appreciate that. I just wanted to sort of get an idea about how that would work and whatever. And I'd be anxious to get more batteries. That'd be wonderful.
It's up to 4 batteries. Could it be less? Yes. Could it be 4? Yes. Could it be 3? Yeah. Could it be 2? Yeah. Could it be 1? Probably not. I haven't heard of any 1 battery system. So sounds like 2 to 4 to me.
And typically, they are installed outside the home next to a meter?
Yeah, as close to the electrical panel as possible. Yes, and outside, yes.
Okay. I appreciate that, Tony. Thank you. Those are a couple questions I had.
All right, you got it. Appreciate those questions. All right, everybody. Boy, wow, this has been another marathon. Love it. Well, I think we recorded it, did we? I'm not sure. Yes, we did. All right, everybody. I'm going to let everyone get back unless there's one more. Catherine, I see. Thank you so much for your expertise fielding all these questions, Tony. Absolutely. Just everybody go get certified.